Today on the TREX Factor, we're going to revisit Misaka, an outstanding Japanese whiskey we first showed you on an earlier episode, and it's only available in duty-free and travel retail. Misaka is a brand introduced to the world by a Hong Kong-based Australian entrepreneur, whiskey aficionado, and now whiskey owner, Harry Kartasis. And we're about to sample two ultra-premium Misaka Japanese whiskies at Harry's Mexican restaurant in Wan Chai, Hong Kong, Gordo Tacos Grill. I'm Martin Moodie, your resident TREX master.
I'm Harry Kartasis. It's great to be here again.
Last time we tasted two of your outstanding Misaka whiskies. Today you're going to be introducing us to two more. Tell us what's on order.
So today we're going to take a little bit step up in premiumisation. We're going to try two very unique and rare whiskies in our range. First one we're going to try is our 18-year-old pure malt Mizunara Cask. The second one we will try is our 21-year-old pure malt Mizunara Cask. In our last episode I touched on why Mizunara is so important. Mizunara Cask doesn't get spoken about a lot, and maybe because it is just so distinctive to Japan. So let me touch on those key points about Mizunara Cask which we spoke about in the last episode. Why is it so revered? The tree is a minimum of 150 years old. It's only grown in Hokkaido in Japan. Most Mizunara barrels are a minimum of 200 years old because it takes the tree a long time to mature. The wood is very wet and it's a difficult tree to work with. But I guess the most important part about Mizunara Cask is the flavours that the wood gives out. You get these sandalwood, which is very unique to Japan, and obviously these light flavours like vanilla and caramel and biscuit and toffee.
Yeah, what an absolutely enthralling story. So we're about to discover what that very special wood and the cask aging that producers does to this liquid. Will you take us away, Harry?
Let's do it. So what we're going to do first, we're going to try our 18-year-old pure malt Mizunara Cask. In the last episode, we tried a 12-year-old, and if you remember the flavours that you got out of the 12-year-old, this here will be a little bit more intense. You'll get a little bit more flavours out of it, because it's obviously sat in the barrel for another 6 years longer.
Thank you, Harry.
So you'll see, as we've seen with the 12-year-old, when we hold it up, you'll see the colour is very similar to the 12-year-old we tried in the last episode. It's just a little bit darker,
yeah.
But what you will find is that the smell, the nose and the flavour will be a little bit more intense. So you remember from the last episode, the master distiller recommended that we actually put our hand over the glass so we capture the flavour inside the glass when we go to smell it. So let's do that. So what's your impressions?
Well, I am getting vanilla on the nose. It's a lovely aromatic feel to this, almost perfume.
The sandalwood would be a little bit more intense. Obviously, we've had an extra 6 years of aging.
Yeah, and that's that perfume character I talked about in the last episode. Harry was explaining the sandalwood character there, and it gives this beautiful, soft, elegant, enticing aroma. You mentioned off screen earlier also you get some banana-ish flavours. I'm picking that up now.
Yes, very, very much so. And as the Mizunara barrel matures much more, those flavours become a little bit more intense. Then you'll start to get banana, a little bit more toffee flavours, yeah, and biscuit as well. Cheers.
Cheers. Well, this is intriguing, Harry. Last time, of course, we had the younger sibling, the 12-year-old. Now we've got the grown-up 18-year-old. It's got a greater depth and intensity, but the same elegance, I guess, is common.
Yeah, very much so, and we're quite privileged to be able to have this in our range. But what I would really like to do is take a step up from this one and try the 21-year-old Misaka Mizunara Cask, which again will be a totally different whiskey. You would think they would be the same, but again, that extra 3 years of aging is going to be a different whiskey altogether again. This is our Rolls Royce, this is our premium. So what is so special about that? Well, firstly, 21 years old is a long time to be aging in a barrel, but particularly a Mizunara Cask barrel. Again, being the most expensive whiskey barrel in the world, it's an expensive liquid just to have sitting there aging for that period of time. But what we're going to try is something totally unique again. So I'm going to talk you through it this time. Rather than you let me know what you're feeling, I'm going to explain what you should be tasting and what you should be feeling on the back of the throat. So let me do the honours first. So the first thing that you will see is that when we hold this one up, even though it's a Mizunara, it's a little bit darker than what the others are.
Yeah.
So the others were much lighter in colour, the 18-year-old and the 12-year-old. Obviously being in the Mizunara barrel for 21 years, it's going to give a little bit more tense in terms of the colour. But let's go back to how we were going to actually nose the whiskey. Again, let's capture the flavours inside the glass, give it a nice twirl, and let's start to bring that in. So what we're going to get out of this one is the flavours are going to be more intense. All those flavours we spoke about before are going to be more intense. The sandalwood is going to be much more deeper in terms of lingering than what the others were. And we're going to get a little bit more toffee on this one as well. The caramel is going to start to come out a little bit more as well. But what we will get more than anything is the spice. So what I would suggest, just take a little sip before we break it open with water. Take a little sip so you can actually get more of that spice. So again, in Japan, we say cheers.
Cheers.
Now, you will feel very intense flavours. The most intense flavour I get, personally, is vanilla. So vanilla comes out very, very strong in this one. And what we get on feedback is white chocolate. White chocolate seems to be a very prominent flavour with this here. So maybe now we can go and break it open a little bit with water and let me know what you're experiencing this time.
And it's interesting, Harry, you were telling me earlier that your parents were chefs.
Yes.
You're a restaurateur, of course. And so you're used to working with spices, working with different flavors. So when I hear you talking about those characteristics, you're really talking from a depth of knowledge.
And I'm talking with a passion as well. Deep down, I love cooking. It's been part of the family DNA for many, many years. So this is part of the reason why I actually created the whiskey as well. It's the next best thing to food.
Well, there we go. Long may that family tradition carry on. So let's try this great whiskey again. The length of flavour is astonishing, and I'm getting a silkiness, an elegance. It's just in balance, it's in the harmony, and beautiful characters coming through. I get the toffee here. It's an outstanding whiskey, Harry. Congratulations on this.
No, thank you so much, and we're quite privileged and very, very proud to have the range that we were able to show everybody today. And the thing I love about whiskey, everyone has a different experience. You know, we can put all the tasting notes on the box, but it's what everyone experiences.
Yeah. A lot of people out there don't know that whiskey can go really well with food. Just a quick word, as a restaurateur and the son of chefs, what would you pair your two whiskies with?
Well, since we're at our Gordo's Tacos and Grill, I would definitely say our fish tacos and our prawn tacos with both these expressions today. So very much seafood type dishes.
So Harry, these are ultra premium, ultra special liquids, and they're only available, of course, as per this program in travel, retail and duty-free shops. Where can I find them?
It's very, very limited where we actually sell our 18 and 21-year-old. We will find these in a Volta Hong Kong in West Kowloon, a Volta Perth International Airport, and Hyderabad duty-free under GMR.
All right. Okay, so very select distribution. I guess mirroring the fact that they're very select liquids, very ultra premium liquids.
Very rare, very ultra, and we're very selective where we actually place our brand. And we have such great retail partners in the Volta and GMR, and we're quite privileged and overly happy to have those listed with those great partners.
Okay, there you are, folks. You know where to buy this outstanding liquid. Very select outlets, only available in travel retail. True TREX's. Cheers, Harry.
Cheers.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much.